Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here at the end of the battle for Vegas to win the Loadmaster ENYO. It's been an interesting American road trip. This one, again, as I mentioned in my take on this, is one of the more expensive ones to have come along. Naturally, there's a push for more spending from the players in the way this is designed. Now, what I found is that all the lock-ins, 3, 4, and 5, 1 and 2, obviously, number 1 should be fully maxed, but 2, 3, 4, 5, you're looking at least low 8 to get through the final races. It's showcasing the same pattern, which is all the earlier races are very easy, but then once you get to the last or second to last race of the lock-in, it jumps in difficulty, sometimes by over a second, right to low 8. So that means the Buick, the Pontiac, and this Ford shotgun all have to be low 8-second cars. The most difficult and expensive out of the 3 to do that with, obviously, is the Buick. And again, this is a paid event through and through. There's just no way, even with some really good luck, unless, well, I shouldn't say no way. Now, somebody might have done enough race passes to have just enough fusions, but I doubt it. I mean, you just can't get this Buick built without pulling crates for those fusions. I mean, it's a lot of fusions you need too for that car, even with stage 6s. Naturally, we tend to get more stage 6s quicker nowadays than we do epic fusions, but you really got to get the car pretty built to get through. Ford is a lot easier. This car, for example, the shotgun, is a decent car because, well, it's easy to build up with Ford fusions. And it actually seems to be carrying pretty decent Evo and will likely be a good live racer. There I got a transmission, but in order to push to here fast, I've already gotten a transmission. So that technically is a duplicate for me. Okay. Race 69, instant jump. Now, I kind of left the car at 8.7s without adding fusions. Here we're doing race without the extra fusions to see how bad the challenge is. And it was red. I mean, I know it's going to be a tough challenge. And then I'm going to jump right to after I add the fusions where I know the car is going to be a lot quicker. And we'll redo this race after that. So we're going to come right back and redo it after I add the fusions. I'm not going to show you guys all that. We're going to jump right to going back to the race with the added fusions. Now, this tells you a lot. So 8.7 dyno without fusions on turbo intake and some engine fusions. Once I added them in, look at this. I am now squeezing a win out of what was a bad loss. So that's 0.6 drop basically on my performance just with fusions. It goes back to tell you just how important fusions are. And that's why the Buick is so frustrating. Because even if I had all the stage 6s without the fusions, it gets a lot weaker. All right, what do you have to say for yourself, Jerry? Oh no, it's the priest guy. So, you know, one thing about story mode, all these little blurbs they throw in, I rarely even read them because while it is supposed to give you some kind of background, some lore or something into the story behind the racing, I haven't found it to be extremely interesting. So, for the most part, much like Tempest or anything else, you kind of gloss over the blurbs and just try to get through the event. Now, the fully maxed first car is important. You definitely want that because on these relays, especially the later relays, where all the cars are involved, having first 2 cars maxed out means that you're guaranteed easy wins on relays. Now, if you don't have the first 2 cars maxed out and you're barely scraping by on the last 3 cars, these relays can actually be pretty challenging. So relays generally work out that way with almost all these. It's a matter of having at least 1 or 2 cars really fully built to make it easier. So the Buick is now well ahead because the first 2 cars put such a gap on the competition that in a bracket racing situation like this, you get advantage of countdown. Now, what these relays tell me is that natural motion can actually make actual bracket racing out of this game. even in live racing, what they can do is do this kind of handicap based on dyno exactly. Of course, it doesn't change the fact that dyno busters can still give you a hard time, but if they do it this way and then they have a cap on the run times, meaning if you run under your dyno by say more than 0.5, you automatically lose. If they program that in, this would actually be true bracket racing. Now we know the reaction time in the game actually means nothing, so that part we just have to let go, whereas reaction time in real bracket racing is extremely important. In this game it's meaningless. So, but still, every time I do a relay, I think about they have already built in the programming to make this live lobby truly control bracket racing, but yeah, it's just not implemented. All right, so here it is, the Loadmaster ENYO. We have it in the garage. Preliminary testing tells me I'm going to build this car mainly for low upgrade level competition. It's probably going to be pretty competitive at higher upgrades, but you're going to need stage 6s for that. However, at lower upgrades, it's almost better not to put in certain stage 6s. Body and transmission stage 6s on some car builds at low upgrades actually hurt the matchmaking, versus even a slightly higher performance point setup, you can still do better. Now, Victory Lab, if you're going to build the car anyway, Victory Lab gives you some stage 6s, so it's worth it to at least build it to get those stage 6s, hoping that you'll get body and trans, but that's for later. So that's it. That was my final few races and winning the Loadmaster ENYO. After this, the next video is probably gonna be a review of all these winnable cars to let you know which one is actually, in my opinion, the best for live racing, and at least the other ones ranked accordingly. The Loadmaster, I can tell you up front, is pretty decent. I'm gonna build it and start testing it, and you'll probably see me in live lobby with it. Well, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you will leave a like. If you like my channel and would like to see these kind of videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get those notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.